the president, can I mention names? President Cornett at that time sent word down through the channel that if I wanted to continue teaching at West Texas, that I better forget this women's sports stuff or I wouldn't have a job. And for a moment it scared me, and then I thought, good grief, they're not even paying me for that. So I continued on, and we struggled on.
Okay, she's still rolling.
Is she still rolling? Oh, okay. What are we talking about?
I just want to talk about
WT?
WT a little bit.
I was in Snyder, Texas for 3 years, coaching volleyball and tennis. And then I brought one of my girls up here to WT to see the college. And the lady that there was kept asking me, did I want a job, because she needed a replacement. And I said, no, I didn't. Got a call from a lady by the name of Ruth Cross, who lived to be 105, wonderful woman. She and I talked about farming 1 hour before she died. She called me and said she wanted to offer me the job, and I said, but I didn't apply for a job. And she said, well, you need to come. And I said, no, I can't, I don't want to leave here. And then about 2 days later, Ruth Cross called me again and said, you need to come. And I said, no, I just can't do it. And then about a week later, she called and she said, girl, I'm going to, gee, it'd be nice to be called girl again. She said, girl, I'm going to go to Albuquerque, to New Mexico State, and hire a lady there that wants the job. Do you want it? And when she asked me then, I had this little voice inside me, truly, that said, Allene, the Lord must want you in Canyon, Texas. So I said, yes, I will take the job. And spent 42 years, 43 years here, something like that.
So what was your primary role when they gave you the job? What did you come to WT to do?
To
Ruth Cross.
teach in the women's physical education department. And that entailed volleyball, gymnastics, and trampoline, basketball and new basketball. Tennis was okay. Swimming, I was not a swimmer. I'd never been on a trampoline, and I didn't know beans about gymnastics. But we did fine. In the beginning, it was activities. My parents were able to help us a lot. We ran the ditches, truly. We made a lot of money picking up cans, huge sacks of cans. And then on Monday, we would take them in Amarillo and sell them, and that'd make us another trip or two down the road. We would have made more money if they had been putting beer in aluminum cans back then, but they weren't. And we had parents that would come across. They would meet us. We'd be on the highway going to Abilene, and they would be in one of the small towns across the way, and we would stop at the Dairy Queen, and they would come across and they would buy us our meal. And we went through a gas shortage, and so didn't want to travel with gas with that many girls, but we would have parents that would come across and meet us and would come and bring tanks and fill up our cars. And the cars were donated by the women faculty. Suzanne Blair would donate hers, Mary Hill donated hers. Mine was a station wagon, and so we could do 8 people in that. We would drive all night long because we didn't have money to spend the night. And the kids who had a test the next day, we would put them in back where there was a light in my car, and they would study back there. One time we were playing a team, and there's a guy that I walked up the stairs with him, and he said, I'm from the Amarillo Globe-News. Can I interview you after the game? And I said, yes, that'll be fine. And that was the first for us. And so at halftime, I said, y'all, the Amarillo Globe-News is here, They're going to ask us what's our name and what is our name. We've got to come up with a name right now. And so we came up with Lady Buffs. And I guess Lady Buffs is still around. And then in '79, Title IX stepped in, and Title IX didn't want to argue with anybody. But our university still wanted to fuss about women's athletics. And we used to practice at 12 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning at the gym, because that's the only time we could get it. But we did get on the floor and we did play, and they couldn't keep us when they were out of town. We scheduled our games, and so we were able to play in the field house. And even after it was a law, we still had to hire a lawyer and fight the system. And it went all the way to a court in New Orleans. And there they made the decision that it had to be. And then I was selected as one of the Hall of Champions one year. This is afterwards, which happens, it always happens afterwards usually. And I received that, and when I walked out on the floor with the president at that time, we went out on the Buffalo Bowls floor. I said, "How many women's sports do you want to support?" And he said, "I don't want to support any of them, but I am going to, it looks like, aren't I?" And I said, "Yeah, it does look like you're going to." And he said, "Well, could you be kind to me?" And I said, "Well, we'll try." It was a time that was we didn't consider it a struggle. We just considered that's how it was, and we just played. Just loved playing. I was here the other day, and while I was here, I saw this lady showing a mother and her daughter around, and I just couldn't resist going over and saying to her, "It's a great university. You need to come here. You will be happy. It's warm, it's friendly, and you will really like it." And the lady showing her said, "Thank you. Who are you?"